Alright, Brakataya Hawa, Brakataya Washai, Brakataya Hawa, Brakataya Washai, Brakataya Hawa, Brakataya Washai. With some phones to give up and in truth, salutations to the confusion of feast. The sincere listen and follow after this word violence. Right? The lesson today will be not all Hebrews. I'm gonna try to prove not gonna say Hebrew, right? The Hebrew Israelites, right? And in consecutive lessons, probably I would break down some of these other nations or whatever. We see how the Spirit leads, right? So the first thing I'm gonna read from is the Zonovan's Compact Bible Dictionary, right? Zonovan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, right? It says page 342. It says Hebrews, right? It says traditionally considered designations for Abraham and his descendants, especially through Jacob, the equivalent of Israelites, right? So it says what? For Abraham and his descendants, especially through Jacob and Israelites, right? So not all Hebrew are Hebrews. It comes to Hebrew where it comes through the line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So we're going to the origin, we're going to the beginning. Genesis, right? The word Genesis means beginning, right? Genesis chapter 11 and start at 6. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, right? And they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and deaf confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. Right? So the whole earth was once speaking the same language, which was the Hebrew, right? And what had happened was that they was coming together to build this tower of Babel, right? If you read higher up, this tower, the tower was what, to reach to the heavens, to meet the Most High, right? But the Most High had to confound the language so that they can communicate, to come together to build this tower, right? It says, and the word language is synonymous with the word tongue, right? So that the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they let off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because of the Lord did they confuse the language of all the earth, right? So the whole earth, as I said, was speaking one language, only different races, right? These are the generations of Shem, because this is post the flood, right? So Noah had 3 sons, right? And the youngest was Shem, right? So prior to this, in Genesis 10, they were speaking about the lineage of Ham and Japheth, right? So now, we're gonna hear about Shem, who the Hebrews come from, right? It says these are the generations of Shem, and was 100 years old, and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begat Arphaxad 500 years, and begat sons and daughters. Arphaxad lived 5 and 30 years, and begat Selah. And Arphaxad lived after he begat Selah 403 years, and begat sons and daughters. And Selah lived 30 years, and begat Eber. Now the word Eber in the Hebrew, it would come to a rising or a risen, across or beyond, right? It would mean, the word Eber would mean a rising across or beyond, right? So that means the language was carried across after the separation or the confusion of the language, that the original language remained with Eber, right? I'm gonna jump down the lineage, right? I'll jump down the lineage and I'll reach to verse 27. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begat Lot, And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of the nativity, in land of his nativity, which is Ur of the Chaldees. Right? Now, Ur of the Chaldees was ancient Macedonia. Right? It says, and Abraham and Nahor took them wives, and Abraham's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife was Milcah, and the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. And Sarah was barren, she had no child. And Terah took Abraham his son and Lot, right? And so Terah took Abraham his son and Lot, the son of Haran, his son's son, and Sarah his daughter-in-law, his son's Abraham's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees, right, to go into the land of Canaan. And they came unto Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran, right? So this is the origins of Abram, right? Who came from who? Abram came from who? Shem, right? So ultimately, right, Abram, thus far, the language came with him. But let's see what the scripture has to say about nationality, right? This is Genesis 14, verse 12. And they took Lot and his son, who did Sodom, goods, and departed. And there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Ishkol, the brother of Anna, and these were the confederate with Abraham. So Abraham was identified here as being what? A Hebrew, right? He was identified as being a Hebrew. So they had other sons of Shem, for example, Elam, right? But Abraham, they were Hebrews, but they're not Hebrew Israelites, right? So we're going on to the next scripture. This is Genesis chapter 32, verse 32, chapter 32, verse 20. And say ye moreover, because Abraham had who? Isaac, right? Isaac was a promised seed that the Most High had promised Abraham, right? For his faithfulness, right? And then he had, Isaac himself had who? Jacob and Esau, right? Now, all these would be the same race as their father, who was Abraham, who was Hebrew, right? But look where the Israelite comes in. This is Genesis 32, verse 20. And say ye moreover, behold, thy servant Jacob is behind us. For he said, I will appease him with presents that goeth before me. And afterward I will see his face, peradventure he will accept of me. Because what had happened was that after Isaac died and blessed Jacob, right? And Jacob had already supplanted his brother Esau. He had to flee and go to his uncle's house, Laban, which is his mother's brother, right? And then after Laban supplanted him about 14 years plus, right, for his wife, which was his first wife, right? And then he kept him around to what? To increase his flock, right? It was that time for him to part. So when he had to depart, now he had to go face his brother Esau, who hated him for the blessings which he had supplanted him twice, right? The birthright and the blessings of the father, right? So this is what he sent on a train before him, right? And he remained back to be last, so that you know that they would appease his brother had, that you know, soften him up then basically, right? So when the presents over before him, and himself lodged that night in the company, and he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons and passed over the ford Jabbok, right? And he took them and sent them over the brook and sent them over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. Now this was an angel he was fighting, right? And when he saw he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, as he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go, for the day break. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. Right? Now the word Israel means what? Yasharala. He is the prince of the powers. Right? For as a prince has thou power with God. Right? That just breaking down there. That will actually be the Hebrew. Right? And with men, and has prevailed. And Jacob asked him, and that's basically the point. Right? Yasharala. Right? So then that Israelite came in. Right? That's where the Hebrew Israelite came in. Because our forefather Jacob fought with the angel and he transformed his name. But his original race was Hebrew. Right? From his father, who came from the line of Shem. Right? There's one last precept. This is Exodus chapter 4 verse 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Right? So that going back into what? I will stop right there. Right? So with that, you know, it's a little short this morning. So I pray that it was edifying to the body. Give all praise to say our boy Shemi Shai, double honor to the apostles and the elders, salutations to the brothers that preach and teach this word in sincerity and in truth.